Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23, and it is now time for the British GP. It is time for round 9 of our Moto2 career mode, and it's time for my home GP. So here we go then guys, the first pole position for a British rider in a long time for Silverstone, and away we go. So our objective is pretty simple now. We have to just finish in the top 5 in the World Championship, but you better believe I want more. And after today's video this morning of me demonstrating and showing everything that's in my career mode right now, you will know we've had a pretty hefty upgrade to our bike, and already it is quite evident as we gain a second advantage already by we entering the 4th corner into the loop. Now I don't think it's all going to be sunshine and roses, because we still have the issue with higher tyre degradation and high fuel load consumption. So I'm going to try and go on to power setting 2, and hopefully we can manage the fuel and stay ahead of our competition in the form of Pedro Acosta and Tony Arbolino. Now I think this is going to be a very similar race to it was in Assen. Certainly not as easy. The AI in Assen have clearly struggled in a couple of corners, and that's why we were able to win by 40 plus seconds. But here in Silverstone, I'm not convinced that's going to be the case. We've got 9 laps in the British GP, and we have a second advantage to Pedro Acosta for now. They really struggle going into Cops, it seems, but we have a 1.3 second. I don't know if we are going to get caught up in this one or not. I was rapid in the qualifying, took pole position with not much effort. A couple of corners I managed to gain a good few tenths on, but the majority of the qualifying, it was quite neck and neck, especially with the likes of Tony Arbolino. He was rocket fast in the early parts of the qualifying session. Now of course in the previous videos, especially in the Sachsenring, we learnt that you can abuse the fuel for quite a few laps and then drop down to power setting 2. In this race I feel confident enough that we might be able to stay on power setting 2 for as long as possible. The AI always gets stronger towards the latter stage of the Grand Prix. We've seen this in every video. That's when I'll then save the 3rd power option just in case. So into the right hand side, good entrance into the club corner. We're 2.3 seconds ahead. Great start, this is brilliant, this is crucial for our championship, and once again I will reiterate to you fantastic viewers, this is on 120% difficulty AI. I haven't changed a thing. The only thing that has changed is we have a much better bike. The upgrades have been working, the relationship building with Marcus Ramirez, achieving the objectives and the goals, puts us in the great situation to succeed here in Moto2, and we're up by 2.8 seconds on the 2nd power option. This is wonderful. I do fear that this race might not be as entertaining as we've had, but considering the championship is getting to those stages where it really matters, I need these sort of victories, I need these sort of races, and if we can go back to back, we're effectively the buses. Buses in England, they never turn up when you want them to, and when they do, every single bus arrives. That is the common saying in England, that the victories are going to be like buses, and here it is. Like London buses. I can't believe it. We could be going, what, 8 rounds without a victory in Assen, and now here on round 9, we could be looking at 2 victories in 2 videos. Absolutely brilliant. I do like the Silverstone circuit as we get a little bit, oh that's messy. We almost actually crashed there because we did get caught onto the curb and then onto the dreaded grass. Thankfully we're still on board the motorcycle, and we have a chance of winning it. Considering our pace at this moment, it looks like the other riders are on bicycles and we're on motorcycles. 3 seconds up the road already. And I do know that this section here is what saved me a pole position. Braking as late as I possibly can into Vale, quick change of direction going into curve 17, and this is where we seem to pull away just a few tenths on the opposition. And now into the club corner, the gap across the line will be 3 seconds. Fastest man on track at 2:05.035. Pretty solid start if I do say so myself. Really happy with the performance here in Silverstone, and I'm yet to win in the British Grand Prix. I don't believe I won it in Moto3 last season, but now I'm not entirely sure. I guess I'll have to pop it back on and have a look, but I don't recall. I think we were disappointed right at the death by possibly Holgado. I don't really remember. I'm going to have to certainly put it up and take a look, but for now, we are having the dream race. Could we do it? Could we get the job done? And now I think about it, did I have a crash in Silverstone, maybe into the loop? I really can't remember. If you guys remember, let me know in the comment section down below. It would be really nice to be reminded what happened in the British GP. But all I know is I don't think I won. I'm pretty confident that I didn't. And now into the right-hand side, still in power setting 2. Tony Arbolino has just lost his podium position to Somkiat Chantra. And Pedro Acosta still standing firm in second place. Now, Pedro Acosta's only a few points ahead of me in the championship. Tony Arbolino's ahead of us by 24. So if Tony crashes and we take the victory, we could be the new Moto2 championship leader. What a way to celebrate the British GP if that would happen today. I don't think it will. Tony's in a very solid 4th place, and the AI don't tend to crash too much here in Silverstone. In Assen they had the problem with a couple of corners. I think Mazzano they tend to crash into La Quercia, and I think in some other tracks as well they have a habit of crashing in certain spots. But we'll see what happens here in Silverstone. Right now everything's looking to be pretty peachy, and it looks to me that we're going to be improving our lap time to get into the 204s, into the right hand side and across the line. It is a 204. It's a 204.568 for your man who won the Moto3 Championship last season in MotoGP 23. So now quick change of direction into the farm corner. Leading the way very comfortably, may I add. 3.7 seconds is the gap as we get a little bit loose into the village corner. Now I think about it, I crashed there. I crashed there in Moto3. I remember it well now. I downshifted too early, went too close to the village corner, and I dropped the bike. I remembered now, but if you remember as well, let me know in the comments section down below. And of course, guys, if you are enjoying the content, definitely get subscribed. It does help out the channel, and I'm on the push for 10,000 subscribers before Christmas, and I'd be really grateful if you could help me out. And of course, it benefits you too, because I do upload videos every single day, and the best way to not miss them and to avoid any missed videos in general is by the subscription. So yeah, I implore you, but you don't have to, of course. So coming out of Woodcut, I do prefer the old start-finish here in Silverstone. I wish it would still stay the same, but it is what it is. It's moved and we have to get with the times. As the gap is now up to 3.8 seconds. Going into Copse. Very powerful here into left for Maggots. Quick change of direction, a little bit deep. We managed to save it. And back to the left for turn 12. And then this here is to Beckett's. We're up by 4 seconds. What an advantage. We may not even need power setting 3. We're absolutely on it here. The British fans would be going ballistic if this happened in real life. It'd be so good to see a British rider win here in England. It's been so long. Did Danny Kent do it? I think he might have done back in 2015. But I don't really remember. Of course, Cal Crutchlow never did. Sam Lowes never did. It would have been great if we did see one of them win here in England. But for now, it's all smooth sailing for us. Must be careful. That was a bit too tight to the apex there. A little bit of a warning. Track limits, second on the list. So across the line there, we are still into the 204s, but not quite as successful as the previous exchange. Now on lap 5, this is one of those tracks that once you get into your rhythm and that groove, you can be hard to dethrone here in Silverstone. I love a good scrap here in Silverstone, I really do, because there's some great overtaking opportunities, especially going here into the loop. Reminds me a lot like Struben into Assen in turn 5. Corners that are really tight on the left-hand side, really slow, low gears. I like those sort of overtakes. I like the faster overtakes as well, going into the likes of Cavone, into Mazzano, but sometimes it's not always as easy to do. I'm definitely a fan of some of those overtakes that you can pull off. We do have Catalunya coming up soon, especially like an overtake into TV3. That's the very tight left-hander, which of course is then turned into a very quick chicane. And then of course on the long run up to turn 10 for La Caixa. But back to Silverstone and back to the action. We're still leading by 4 seconds. It's going quite smooth, this, and I guess I do apologise that we're leading by such a comfortable margin. I mean, it would be more fun and interesting if we were battling, but as far as the championship concerned, I think this is just one of those blows to the championship that we needed. We needed a big whack into Tony Arbolino, a big hit into the likes of Pedro Acosta. And it looks like we're doing that here today in this video. Pretty solid stuff, and especially after we just did the career mode update video just 4 hours ago to talk about what's new in our Moto2 career mode, to see the upgrades of the forward Calyx, or forward Triumph should I say, and it's looking really positive. As if this is going to work for Silverstone, what else could it work for? Could it work for Catalonia coming up? Could it work for the Red Bull Ring in the next race in Austria? Who knows? I can't wait to do those videos for you, and I can't wait to get them uploaded. We're actually trending to be improving the lap time here. So we had a small dip back into the low or high 204s, and now back into the mid 204s. Good performance here on lap number 5. So we have 4 more laps to do, and we have a very comfortable advantage. So unless Pedro is going to take a second out of us every single lap, I think we've pretty much got this one signed, sealed and delivered. It all depends on if we make a mistake. I'm not going to, and I'm certainly not going to try. I want to win. But I did take a small liberty with the soft option rear tyre. I think it was the right decision because, a bit like Jorge Martin in Phillip Island, my ambition was to just get the best tyres on possible, to break away from the pack, churn out the lap times, and then hang on for dear life if it comes to that. And so far, 4 seconds up the road, unless we're going to do the Martin, we should be comfortable. But you never know. The tyre wear in MotoGP 23 is not that egregious, even though we do have high tyre wear consumption. I don't think it would take a lot more aggressive player than me to really burn those tyres. I'm very gentle with the acceleration, and I don't brake particularly aggressively either, so the tyres should last. The main concern we've had this season is the fuel. The fuel consumption is just way too high. We just burn the fuel. And even though that we've been on Power Setting 2 for almost 6.5 laps now, or 5.5 laps, we're still only saving a lap of fuel. I do wonder if it's worthwhile just to stay on Power Setting 3, because the fuel consumption doesn't really make sense in this game. Like, I can run Power Setting 3 for about 5 laps and then drop to 2 for the rest, or I can stay on Power Setting 2 and still have the same fuel towards the latter stage. It's a bit confusing for me, but into the final part of lap number 6, we might be dropping into the 205s here. It looks like that way could happen across the line. It is a 205, but the gap is still solid at 4 seconds. No cause for panic yet. I am hoping that Alberto Arenas and Philip Salac can duff Tony Arbolino up. But judging by the gap in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you can see Pedro Acosta, he's 4 seconds. From him, it's probably another 4 seconds to Chantra. And then from there is a couple of riders together. It could be Arbolino and it could be Arenas and Salac. Let's just hope it is. And let's hope they get the better of the Elfmark VDS star. Fermin Aldeguer and Lopez are down 7th and 8th as well, the 2 speed-up teammates, or Bosca scorers should I say. They're not close enough to get involved, but I'm going to keep an eye on that as this race progresses. Oh well, Arenas, he has done. Alberto Arenas is doing us a solid here. He's also doing his teammate a solid. He's also helping their team's championship as well, because don't forget, it might be bleak for us on the forward team, but for Elfmark VDS and for Red Bull KTM IO, there's certainly opportunities for the both of them to win this one. And our gap has come down to 3.2. I guess I need to stop focusing on what's happening behind us and focus on the race ahead of us. Costa is not giving up. He might be putting in some fast lap times here. We have to be careful. Oh, that reminded me a lot of the mistake I made in that multiplayer race with friends a few days ago. Last week, I think, at this point now. I must be careful. I don't want to balls this up here. I don't want to mess this up. I can't afford to. 5 points. You might not see him a lot, but it'll be a 10-point swing to Acosta if we don't win this race. Granted, our biggest championship rival is Tony Arbolino, but if he starts making mistakes and he starts finishing 5th and 6th, that's a great opportunity for us to fight back. And look how well we fought back, actually, in the final part of this lap. The gap is only down to 0.3 of a second compared to our previous best. The gap for Pedro Acosta is now gone back up to 4 seconds, so Good retaliation from the Doctor. And across the line, it's still a 2:05, but we're trending in the right direction this time again. Still using Power Setting 2. Another thing as well that I don't think I really explain. But once you've done 6 laps, 7 laps on Power Setting 2, if you then start to try and change things up by going Power Setting 3, you have to relearn how to attack the powerful motorcycle. So going to Power Setting 3 is going to bring on a lot more power, a lot more speed, and then you've got to relearn your braking markers and to also manage the throttle in a better way. So sometimes in a situation like this, I think it's better just to stay on Power Setting 2. I don't think you need to start messing around changing the power option. I do notice the esports riders, and I spoke to Jackhammer before about this, where he changes all the way through the race. So in some corners they're down to Power Setting 2, back up to Power Setting 3 for some straights, and back down as well. I probably don't want to start implementing that into my riding, because I enjoy doing what I do, but if I've got to start then trying to change power in every other corner, I think that would just annoy me. So I think I'm happy to keep things as they are. But all things considered, the gap has come down to 3 seconds. I know it's not a lot, but I'm just curious to see how fast the AI are going now. You know yourselves from playing these games, the AI have no off switch when it comes to the final laps. They don't suffer with tyre degradation. They don't have a fuel drop. They're just going gung-ho every single lap. Every single exchange, they just continue to get stronger and stronger. But it does seem we have broken the resolve of Acosta and Chantra. Arenas is still ahead of Tony Arbolino, thus giving us more points. We're in a great situation here, guys and gals. I'm really pleased. 8.5 tenths of a second we're going to lose on this lap, and we're still leading by 3 whopping seconds. Might not be as dominant as the Assen victory, but I've got to be honest, it's still just as satisfying. Actually a little bit more satisfying, because in Assen the AI were just terrible. Here we've had to put in some strong laps to stay ahead. And although the lap times are beginning to suffer a bit now, we're dropping down to 3.1 seconds. We're still on it. And we still have Power Setting 3 to use on those straights if and when required. Into the loop, not a good position to take the 4th corner. And we're losing 3 tenths of a second. The gap's down to 3 seconds. Could it drop beneath? It has gone beneath the 3 second mark. 2.7 is the gap against Acosta. No need to panic. We've got plenty of time here. Don't need to panic. We're strong going into Brooklands. We've seen this online against the guys online in multiplayer races. 2.6, 2.5. I hope that doesn't drop to less than 2. Maybe then I'll start to panic. But for now, we look to have it signed, sealed and delivered. Really pushing that right-hand side of the soft rear tyre there onto the right-hander there. Really pushing it, giving everything we've got back onto the right-hand side again. Yeah, we're losing so much time now. It's that right-hand side that's where we're struggling. The gap's down to 2.2. We can be strong on the left-hand side, but this change of direction into Maggots, into 11, then into Beckett's. It does get a little bit concerning. Quick change of power direction into turn 13, and then onto the left-hand side. Oh, a bit of a wheelie there as well. That's quite nice coming into Chapel. But for this lap, I'm going to use a little bit of Power Setting 3 just to keep me well away from the competition, and then go back down to Power Setting 2 to ensure we have a smooth power delivery, because we are about to be victorious here in Silverstone. The British fans will be on their feet. Get ready to hit the like button, guys and girls. Get ready to subscribe, because your victor of the British GP is on screen right now. You've been watching him for 9 laps. You're about to see him take victory here from the club corner. Silverstone, we have a winner, and unfortunately it won't let me wheelie. God damn it. So there you are then, guys, my first victory in Silverstone. The first victory for a British winner in a long, long time. But my only interest right now is to see how much the championship has closed in by. We were a tenth of a second quicker than Acosta, and we were one of the fastest riders. But Alberto Arenas, a 2:03.8, a 2:02.7 from Sam Lowes. That's an astonishing lap time from the Elfmark VDS rider. But here it is. The championship standings is down to 24 points. I thought I was closer in the championship than that. That's a little bit disappointing, but we have closed the gap somewhat, and that's all that really matters. So maybe next time out, if Pedro doesn't get, if Tony and Pedro don't get points, we could have the championship lead. But hell, I don't think that's going to happen. But guys, thanks for watching the video. I do hope you enjoyed. I'll leave you with the team's championship, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.